what do you believe is at stake in this election?
We need a good president, a good vice president.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that's about to say.
Chaos versus order. How's that?
That's perfect.
And I actually believe that the Democrats represent order better than the Republican Party, which I used to vote for in my early life, but they all got crazy. They went nuts, and so I can't vote for them anymore. So the Democrats are like, keep things the same. The Republicans are overturn things, break things. Oh, after we break it, we have to fix it? No, we don't. All we have to do is break it and then get our money. That's the way I feel about the Republican Party now.
Everything's too high, interest rates too high, gas prices too high, no oil field economy in our state. They've taken it from us.
I think that for one specific type of person, they'll be completely fine. But that is one specific type of person. I think everyone else will be affected. I think that every group of people besides the standard, typical white male will be affected by this. And I think it'll be very devastating, especially for people, especially for women and people who need certain things to live, like birth control and right to reproductive health and stuff like that. And I think that the results could be disastrous, honestly.
I think just the future of our economy.
Gosh, I don't know, democracy itself, maybe? I don't know. I don't care to find out. So, I'm voting for normal.
Well, I mean, I think the candidates, even some of the state elections, some of the candidates, they look at things a lot differently on how, the U.S. and how even the state of Oklahoma will do things going forward. So I think there's a lot at stake on exactly the leadership and the path that the U.S. goes forward. So yeah.
So much. Women's rights, the rights of anyone who's not a white male. Just there's so much. Healthcare for people, for everyone. I have a pre-existing condition. If that's taken away, I will suffer, my family will suffer. Education. There's talk about doing away with the National Department of Education and just leaving it up to the states. And I think that's a very dangerous thing to do, especially for Oklahoma.
Well, like I said earlier, like this whole civil rights thing, I think that's really at stake this year.
Our women's rights, mainly. A lot of things are at stake. Our freedoms, a lot of our freedoms that, not including our guns. I think our guns are pretty safe, but the rest of our freedoms are kind of up for grabs this year.
Well, as I tell a lot of people, I don't think that election, I've been here a while and I can't say any election made a tremendous outcome in regards to a great aspect on my daily life, but I think it is important to come out here and exercise that right to vote.
Again, education is huge. If you think about all the different things with the Federal Department of Education, that's at stake. I think rights just for people as well. And I think that a climate is at stake right now. Being able to talk to each other in a humane way, I think that is really at stake right now.
Oh my gosh, our freedom, our liberty, everything that's entwined in that. If the economy if there's not control taken of this economy and the direction it's headed, we're all going to be under control because money is everything, right? And I think it's important to realize that we can't rely on the government for everything. We have to have our own individual liberty, and I think that if all the money is controlled by the government and the economy is controlled by the government, that's the end of us.
Well, your generation will, just like a lot of generations, but particularly younger ones, you need to be able to afford to buy a house. You need to be able to afford groceries. You need to be able to afford to pay off your student loans. And the world's expensive. And it's important on who you vote for. Your generation will be impacted by who gets in office, and the better the economy does, which they say, you know, the stock market, the unemployment rates are great right now, but we need to feel the improvement in our pocket.
Everything. I mean, I don't know that I can explain that without saying who I'm voting for, but I don't really care. I mean, for me, I'm voting for our border being secure. I'm voting for our economy, because I know 4 years ago I could afford a whole lot more than I can afford now.
Freedom and security, I feel, is a big thing, like personal security and national security, but personal freedoms, I'd say, are the biggest that I feel compelled to vote for.
I think that if it goes Democratic Party, I think there will be more inflation. I think there will be more government. I think that there will be things put in place that that I certainly don't agree with, and my values aren't aligned with it at all.
I think we're at a crossroads, you know, nationally and really kind of in our state. You know, so we've got to voice our opinion. We've got to support the outcome, whatever that might be, in a peaceful manner and in a supportive manner. So voting is very, very important.
I think the immediate future of the country and the direction we're going to go is what's at stake. And then decisions that are made in the next 4 years are going to impact the next probably 8 to 12 years.
I believe that our total democracy, our ability to rule ourselves as people, you know, we the people, is at stake. And if we allow people in office that do not care about we the people, but only those that are in power or those that are financially able to push through certain legislation, then we're not any longer we the people. We are only we under those in power.